Hi, I'm John Twist of University Motors. Today we've got a really interesting situation with a Lucas electronic distributor and a PERTRONIX. But before we get to that, I want to say that today is December 2nd, 2013. Got to think which year it is. It's Dayton, our videographer's birthday. Hey, how nice is that? Anyway, today I want to show you that we had this distributor inside this 1500 Midget, which hasn't been on the road for quite some time. Okay? So the old electronic ignition had failed, and we could get a nice spark. You can see that, get a nice spark out of the coil, but we were getting no spark out of the spark plug wire. Well, now how could that be? How could you have such a nice spark going into the cap and virtually no spark coming out of the cap? Bad rotor. But that's not the case, because this is Jeff Schlemmer's rotor, made by Advanced Distributor. Everybody's been selling them, but they are the A #1 rotor, and we changed it. So it wasn't the rotor, must be the cap. So we took the cap and we put another cap on. That wasn't it. Where is the spark going? How could it just plain disappear? Look at the size of the spark. I mean, that's a big spark. Okay? Nice spark here. So, even now and then I'm stymied. So I called actually what I said was, I'm going to have to call Glenn, because maybe Glenn's just got a different view on how I might diagnose this. About 2 minutes after I said I'd better call Glenn, Glenn called me because he had a situation. Anyway, he said, take the distributor out and just work it by hand and see what you see. Well, as soon as we got it out of the car, it was obvious what the problem was. Now watch this. As we turn the rotor, okay, here's a spark, 90 degrees to that is a spark, 90 degrees to that's a spark, 90 degrees to that is a spark. But the problem is that the rotor isn't pointed at either of the pickup points on the cap. It's sitting between them. So there's our problem. There's our problem. We are perfectly out of phase. We're 45 degrees out, which puts the spark between the two pickup points, and there's no way that the spark can get out there. So now the question is, what's going on? How could this possibly happen? Well, we took a look at the PERTRONIX here, and if I get this thing off, oh, it's hard to see, but this plate fits onto a PERTRONIX and fits onto a 45D distributor. That's what this is for, a 45D. Well, this is a 45DE, which is electronic. It's got this module on it here, 45DE. So somewhere we downloaded the information from PERTRONIX, and then we talked to our supplier, and our supplier had superseded what we think is the correct part number to this part number. So it's like, hey, at least we know what's going on. We got the wrong PERTRONIX unit in here. But you know, there's some strange things that happen. I want to say that it's a lumination that doesn't have a magnetic Hall's effect pickup, but it's got an electric eye and a wheel, and the wheel spins around through the electric eye. And this thing is out on the end of this sort of adjustable strap, and you can move it. You can move the pickup quite a ways, and it is possible to have that so mispositioned that as the distributor advances, the rotor gets too far away from the pickup, and you lose your spark at the spark plug, and the car begins to fail at higher speeds. I have seen that, but I've never seen this. So it should be firing here, 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 and here, but instead it was firing at 45 degrees to that. So at least we know what the problem is. We're still trying to solve the problem, but we know what the problem is. I want to encourage everyone this year to have a very Merry Christmas and to look forward to our calendar and see all the exciting things we're going to be doing this next year. Until then, safety fast.